Hello! Today I'm going to show you how I finished an abandoned project. I used a blacksnake pattern which I bought on Etsy. I was aiming for a formidable Miss Hatter King look. I can't show you the first steps, but I started with the front placket. I basically folded the front edges twice and top stitched them. Then I ironed the front pleats. I tried different methods to hold the pleats in place. I tried sewing them from the wrong side and I tried top stitching, but I wasn't satisfied with either solution. So, on the other front I tried tiny running stitches along the edge of the pleats, and this was the point where I initially gave it up. With the passing of time, however, I thought I couldn't waste the fabric and forced myself to finish the blouse. When I put the pasted blouse on, I discovered several issues. The front was too tight, so I was worried that after attaching the sleeves there would be too much pressure on the last stitch in the top stitching of the outermost pleats, which could result in a tear. The top stitching had to end higher. I tried to figure out where to end the top stitching on each pleat, because as they made my chest look very flat. I have no muscles, so I have big holes in the shoulders. I thought I would need padding, but when I sewed on the double yoke, it almost solved the problem. The armholes were not snug enough. I didn't want to mess with the side seams, so I decided to raise the back a bit. The yoke from the back looked great. I removed the running stitches. That was the only easy thing about this project. I pasted the pleats into place because at that point I wasn't going to do anything with them. I stitched the side seams. This fabric rebelled terribly. I felted the side seams. I sewed on one of the yokes, then I realized I should have sandwiched the front shoulders within the yokes. I had to unpick the tiny hand stitches and do it again. I raised the back. I don't remember how much I took away. I top stitched the inner back yoke from the inside. With each stitch I checked I hadn't poked the needle through the outer layer. And my colour adventures began. The pattern, which included a seam allowance, was too long for the neck of the blouse. I have no idea why I thought it was too long. But I thought I'd very cleverly solved the problem. And I made a collar which was too short. I started it again. I had to experiment quite a lot, I just couldn't get it right. I have a long neck, so I wanted a really tall collar. Unfortunately, I didn't think of it before I sewed around the collar, which meant more unpicking of tiny stitches. I could finally sew on the collar. I basted along the edge of the collar to keep it in place. I clipped the seam allowance. I checked it looked alright, it did not, but I couldn't mind it anymore. I trimmed the seam allowance a bit late. And I whip stitched the lining collar to the neck. Next, I hemmed the blouse. Then I tried to determine where to place the buttons. As you can see, the pleats without top stitching became a complete mess. At least this solved my dilemma. Yes, I know, I'm ancient. I had some mother of pearl buttons. They are the same as the ones that I used for my 1908 country blouse. I made the buttonholes. I sewed on the buttons. I top stitched the pleats on the left side as well and unpicked some stitches on the right side. I wasn't happy about the back at my waist, the pleats opened up too much. So I stitched horizontally with basting stitches under the waistline so that the stitches would be hidden in my skirt. That worked quite well, but the outermost pleats still opened up too much. I made a mock-up sleeve from the fabric that I used for my hip and bustle pad. It looked quite nice on Louisa, but terrible on me. I played with it for a very long time. I decided to stitch down the troublesome pleat. I was a bit stressed because I had fabric just enough for the sleeves. I cut the opening for the placket before cutting out the sleeves. For the placket, I cut a 4.5 cm wide strip twice the length of the opening. Since I had to stitch close to the edge, overcasting first proved to be a clever idea. I backstitched near the edge. I folded the other edge of the strip. I lined it up with the stitching and whip stitched it. As a break from the tiring task of making the sleeves, I stitched down the outermost pleats a few centimeters below and above the waistline. I gathered the sleeves. After dozens of trials, I made the sleeves tighter than the pattern, but different from my mock-up as well. I also added a false seam from the placket to my elbow. I felled the sleeve seams, which was a bit difficult as the sleeves were narrow in the lower arm. I basted the sleeves into place. I wasn't going to remove these stitches, so I used my sewing thread. I backstitched just under the basting line. I trimmed the seam allowance. I overcast it. I didn't like the white plackets. The instructions actually called for narrow ones, so I made the necessary changes. I cut the cuffs. I stitched them. I trimmed the allowances. I clipped the corners. I turned them to the right side. I marked on the sleeves where I wanted to cut them shorter before attaching the cuffs. They were long. I called them monkey sleeves. I sewed on the cuffs. The pattern included very big allowances. I didn't like them. I whip stitched the lining cuff. Now I only needed to make buttonholes and sew on buttons on the cuffs and the collar. I dreaded making a buttonhole on the collar and I was right. I messed it up. Well, do you think I look formidable enough? I hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications.